fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on a pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, a salt in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. The longer I have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
In the instant, I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, rip it in the song instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally, those that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible. Calling audibles, I'm remarkable. I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot them holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple, let's raise the temple. Make them triple while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek the engine. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in them. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Caught back to Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rocking my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions, emerging the virgin. I pull the back the iron curtain. War leaders are war eaters, born cheaters, war sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper, form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments, ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan, rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa, and the hands of Wolverine, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. Why the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed, and an angel swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
Keep an arsenal, yeah, my gun is remarkable. Busted shots at the cardinal, now they calling inaudible. Killing all of them, evil people intolerable. Didn't mean to start of your blast, turn the particle. My apocrypha, summon my inner Asura, unlocking my chakra, flipping over your Akira. And I'm accurate, sniper rifle was damaging, blast as fast as a sassacus, cause his ass was a pacifist. Yes, I mastered this, leave you frozen like mannequins. Now the masses is panicking, turning evil like Anakin. Call the coroner, aftermath of a warrior, whooping your ass like Morpheus. Kill streak was so glorious. I'm the pinnacle, grind your ass in the minerals. No need for subliminals, government is the criminals. I'm the general, revolution, the miracle. The code is reppin', that's unpredictable. Motherfucker.
Those weapons of mass destruction gotta be somewhere.
On the world stage, pushing weapons of mass destruction. The only weapon is the voice speaking mass deception. CGI planes inserted on 9/11. The Patriot Act inserted, all rights have been suspended. Black magic magicians with malicious intentions keep casting your votes for puppets pre-selected. Pre-planned pandemic with experimental injections. Contractual consent keeps farm under full protection. FDA allows cancerous dyes to pass inspection. It's $1 trillion profit, keeping us in sickness. Hypocrites under Hippocratic oath is so sickening. Speaking food for thought, using my freedom to express. Until I strike a nerve, then I'm censored, I digress. Elite created the rules and board on this game of chess. Israel pulls the strings, I'm not surprised or impressed. I'm just buying time until it's time to suppress the noise with the silence, so we sentence you to death. Convicted of treason, I let the gallows do the rest.
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq.
I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
You're horrible people. Horrible people. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
The pathetic.
Horrible people. Horrible people. It's always everyone else's fault with that clown. How does he even look in the mirror? He probably don't. When he says horrible people, you should look in the mirror. I can't believe I'm just addicted to this fucking. It's called the Node, open street mapping with Flock technology. I can't believe how this is all mapped out. Like, the surveillance is far more than what most people can even fathom. How I got into this, only God knows. And the crazy part is all these cameras are from fucking China, man. You know, how dumb can we be to put street cameras from China? Like, our government is not the most intelligent fucking idiots. Edited by Unclamped. Who's Unclamped? Unclamped 9. He's been a mapper since January 28th, 2025. It was last edited May 1st, 2026. So whoever Unclamped 9 is the editor to these maps. Maybe he's a federal agent. Maybe he works for the feds. Maybe he's a scumbag cop. Fuck Unclamped 9. How do you like that one? Nah, he's probably just a worker. My bad, Unclamped 9. Get your paycheck. Location. Location. What's up, Candy? How you doing today? Man,
Who's Rufus King? There's a park on Jamaica Ave called Rufus King in New York. I can't believe how many flock cameras are in New York. I thought Connecticut was bad. New York City is way worse. All right, let me go back to the flock. We're going to go to Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn Manor. Mounted on a pole. See, they tell you where it's mounted. If it's a traffic light or a pole. It's made by Eakin Box Spotter and operated by the New York City Department of Police, I guess. They always talk about it's for our safety, man. That's their loophole. We never asked for their safety. At least let me not say we. I don't need their fucking protection or their safety. You know, who asked these people for help to be safe? I don't think anybody did. They just make shit up. Like JK said yesterday, I'm not rolling over and living on my knees. Look what they're doing in the UK with this digital ID stuff. You know, most fucking ding-dongs I see on YouTube be like, people made a big deal about credit cards. And look, it was nothing. This ain't credit cards. That's how fucking dumb people are. This is a digital point system. That's 1,000 times worse than any slave system we've ever had. I mean, if they close your account and don't let you eat, hey, that could benefit you. Who wants to eat this processed chemicals anyway? I just seen a video where a guy was showing ingredients in candy. It was sun phosphate. This cat went into Home Depot and got a bag of phosphate. My mind is blown. I said, yo. And that should be a big deal, man, because people's children are eating these candies, man. I can hear Dom's voice now. But you have a choice. You could choose to buy them or not. Which is true, but like my whole point is we shouldn't have to play games like that. Fuck those motherfuckers. You gotta love this place. This fucking hellhole. You know, you just gotta accept that we're in hell. That's it. You gotta accept it. That life is shit. And I'm stuck here. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm so glad I found this thing. I don't know about anybody else. Just use your imagination of what Chuck's gonna do. Just use your imagination. Oh my God, dude. They have flock cameras everywhere. I didn't realize it was this bad. When they said 20,000 flock cameras, like I couldn't fathom how many that is. But when I see them on this map, all the blue dots, holy fuck. So there's so many blue dots in some area, you can't even see the map. I mean, this is insane. There's way more than 20,000 in the US. There's more like 200,000. And then when I look in some of these rich places where rich people live in Connecticut, there's not one fucking camera. Not one. like in Woodridge, Easton, Reading, Bethel. All these were you know, rich people. Southbury, Oxford, Bridgewater. Not one fucking camera, man. Middlebury, Washington, Bethlehem, Morris, Plymouth, Litchfield, Warren, Harrington, Burlington. I never even heard of these towns. I heard of Burlington, Torrington, but I never heard of Morris or Bethlehem. I've been to Connecticut my whole life. Washington, Connecticut? What? Goshen, Cornwall, not one camera in sight. But then when you go to the poor areas like Bristol, Plainville, New Britain, Farmington, well, Farmington's rich people mostly. There's a lot of $1 million houses there. That's where Mike Tyson had his house. Now they probably have like doorbell cameras and stuff, Candy, but I don't see no flock cameras. That's what I'm looking at, the flock cameras. Man, if we was to do like the UK, we would have a lot of doing to do. I seen a video where the cop was sitting in his office, and he's like, I remember the days when I used to sit on a roof with binoculars and drink coffee. And we used to watch the drug addicts. And, you know, we would build cases that way. And we would get a confidential informant. And now I could just sit in my office and suck dick all day. And watch people in cameras. And we build our cases this way because most people are dumb. You could tell people there's cameras till they're blue in the face and they'll still do stupid shit in front of them. People are bugged out. But yeah, you know, me personally, I'm totally against the war on drugs, you know, because it's truly the war on the people. If people want to do it, smoke crack, smoke weed, sniff coke, like, that's their decision. It's just the government benefits off both ends. They benefit off of selling the drugs, which they bring it in. The CIA, they deal drugs and set people up all the time. And they let shipments come in. And then they benefit that way. And then they benefit off arresting people because then they make money off a bond or them being in prison. It's all a benefit to them, man. Either way. I've always said, man, if they really wanted to stop drugs from coming in, they could do it. If these motherfuckers could find someone's heartbeat in the middle of a desert, I mean, come on. I don't know. Sometimes I sit alone and wish I could time travel back to the 90s. The world we live in now is doomed. When they said they're gathering information, I still couldn't fathom on the level that they're doing it until I started looking at these cameras for myself and started looking at the maps and how many there are. When you go to Mapillary, MAPILLARY, and man, it's tracking every car, every person walking. Well, obviously, but if you got a camera on your car, it's being uploaded into the cloud or whatever this is. Because I could pick your car, click on your camera, hit play, and wherever you went, I could view the fucking street through your camera. Isn't that wild? Map style. I want to be able to. What happened to the Wait a minute. I'm in New York and fucking Connecticut at the same time. Flock safety, 88. So in Connecticut, out of 100 cameras, Flock safety has 88. Axis Communications got 4. Motorola got 1. And there's 6 unknown. I wonder what these unknown ones are. Interesting. I'm going to find them. Density blobs. What's that? Oh. Okay. What's a cluster? Individual camera points. Come on. Why don't I see them no more? That's weird. What's up, DJ Graves? I forgot to drop the link. Today's Revolutionary Thursday. It's time to lock and load and let the politicians' heads explode. Oh, shit. State boundaries. Let's turn that on. Country boundaries or county boundaries. Municipal boundaries. Filters. How about we filter brand. Shit. What's good, DJ Graves?
What's up, Charles?
Just chilling. I'm on this website that shows me where all the Flock cameras are, and it's very interesting. It tells you where they are, what coordinates, what pole they're on. You know, just good information to have.
There's barely any of them out west.
I could go to any state, any city. I could find the cameras wherever they are.
That's crazy.
There's over probably 200,000 Flock cameras scanning license plates, storing all our information in these data centers. We're literally watching them build our digital prison. Literally.
Wow. That's crazy. But if you look at Idaho and Wyoming, there's barely any of them.
Hopefully. Because fucking Gates just bought up some farmland, and instead of planting fruits that aren't GMO, you put a data center instead.
Yeah.
You know. We need a revolution and a half, man. I don't have all the answers, but I know if we keep going in this direction as a country, we're fucked, man. We are.
It looks like
fucked.
on the East Coast, they got the most of it. They got all that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Virginia, New York City, Connecticut's got a lot where I'm at. I want to move west, but I want to get away from these cities. I mean, I'm nearest the capital of Connecticut, but Hartford ain't even that big, like people would think. It's big, but not that big.
I live in New York. I live. You ever hear of this city called Poughkeepsie?
Yeah.
That's where I live.
You're in New York right now?
Yep, that's where I live.
So that's a little upstate, right?
A little bit. It's like it's like an hour away from the Bronx.
I'm about an hour from the Bronx in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Man, when I went to New York City, I didn't want to come home. The energy is different there.
Yeah, it could be fun, but it could also be dangerous at night, bro. You gotta be careful, especially in the Bronx.
Oh yeah, I know. I went with my friend who has a lot of family that lived in the Bronx. So I wouldn't just go there. I ain't that stupid. I know. That's the only reason I went, is because, you know, my friend grew up there and he's got family. But other than that, I wouldn't just like go there and hang out by myself.
During the daytime, it's fine. It's actually really nice. There's lots of shops, lots of different diners.
Yeah, New York has good food. I had got arrested out in New York for smoking weed, man. And when they found out I wasn't from there, they treated me like I was some fucking drug trafficker and shit for a fucking roach of weed. I seen the cop and I threw the roach down and he picked it up with his glove and arrested me and my friend, man. We were going to the train. And I was like, this is corny. It was a rookie cop.
It was a rookie
and
cop.
I'm like, man, I thought Connecticut was bad. I'm like, you guys are arresting me for damn near a roach. You guys are fucking corny. I was pissed.
You're probably in and out of jail real quick though, because they don't keep people in jail like that in the city. Upstate, they keep people in jail for like a week at a time for stupid shit like that.
I spent one night. I went from the police station. They put me in the cells. Nasty. The cell across had shit all over the toilet. It stunk so bad.
Oh god.
And then they brought me to booking, some cells, some place with cells, and then to the courthouse. I think I was in Queens. I think I got arrested near Flatbush Ave or some shit. I don't remember, but I had to do a class. So that means I had to miss work. I had to pay $50 to go there and back home.
Oh my
God. I had
God.
to do a fucking class and pay a fine. Yeah, when he was like, what are you doing here? You from Connecticut? And I said, what are millions of other people doing here? So I'm like, the cop's asking stupid questions.
Right. He was probably thinking that you were selling drugs down there and then going back up into Connecticut.
Probably. But yeah, New York's nice.
Yeah.
Man, you've been making some fire beats lately.
I have. Yeah.
Shit. I can't believe Trump said, I don't care about the economy. All I care about is taking Iran's nuclear weapons. What? Like, we believe that shit. How many times they always say countries got this, they got that. 20-something years in the Middle East, and they didn't find one weapon of mass destruction. Not one. They murdered millions of innocent Iraqis and Pakistani people. They murdered them. Cold blood for nothing. I don't know how people could live with themselves, man.
I like Trump at first, but now he's starting to scare me, bro.
No, I seen through him from day one, man. He was lying to all those people. Like a politician does, man. That's all they do is lie to get what they want. That's like that's what they're about. You know, people got to realize that it doesn't matter who gets in. It's just different face, same tactics. They're not going to let anybody in position that's going to ruin their game plan or change their game plan. You know, people thought Trump was going to come in there and save the day and drain the swamp. And I'm like, Trump is the swamp. Yeah, these people think ahead, man. They plan fucking years ahead. Like, when they have children, their children are set in a position. As soon as they're born, they already are. It's set in stone already. That's how far ahead they plan. Heart of the earth. Minta, I can never say that. Minta Kazoo. Minta Kazoo. What does Minta Kazoo mean? Somebody's name's Minta Kazoo. Has you talked to Hurricane about getting any beats from you?
No, I haven't. I haven't talked to Hurricane in a long time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Hurricane sent me to you to get beats, for you to get beats.
Yeah, when I get my money straight, I'll buy a few. I still have that beat you made for me, man. I'm writing something to it. I appreciate it. I like homemade beats anyway, because I don't know. It's something about flowing on some other rapper's beat. It's just, I mean, whatever. But I like to be creative.
I understand. Yeah, it's better to rap on beats that are already original because you come up with something brand new, you know?
Yeah.
Because a rapper already has that beat set in stone, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was cool. I remember the era when like 50 and other rappers were taking beats and kind of like changing the song a little bit, but if I had the technology back then that in the palm of my hand, like now, shit, my phone is a studio. I don't sound the best, but
you're right. The technology nowadays, everybody's a rapper now.
That's the problem. There's no creativity. You ever see that video with Busta Rhymes artist? It was some chubby kid, yo. Busta Rhymes, it was tight. Yo, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, we're Busta Rhymes must be desperate. Like, you know, I'm not sitting here tooting my horn saying I'm the best, but I know I could write way better than that dude. And, you know, I started writing rhymes when I was fucking 13 years old, 12.
I started making beats around that age, around like 14 years old. I started making beats. 28 now. It's been 14 years. I'm about to turn 29 August.
I'm 45 now. I started writing because of Prodigy and Method Man. They were like in the RZA. They were like my influence. And some KRS-One.
It's crazy because I never wanted to be a rapper. But I remember when I was little, I had a album from Lil White. I don't know if you ever heard of Lil White.
Yeah. He's down with 3 6 Mafia and them, right?
Right. That was the first album I ever owned, a rap album that I ever owned.
I used to laugh at that name, and then I listened to him, and I was like, "Wow, dude's good."
Yeah. Well, I had that album, the Doubt Me Now album, and I was listening to it, and I'm saying to myself, I want to make beats like this, you know?
You make good beats.
Yeah.
You make you use a sampler or just a keyboard and the beat machine?
I use a keyboard and a beat machine.
Do you use like a computer?
Too. Huh?
Do you use a computer program or?
Yeah, a computer program.
So the beat machine and the keyboard's hooked up to the computer.
Right. Shit's expensive, bro. All that equipment is expensive as fuck. I would say
go ahead.
My whole little studio between the speakers, the keyboard, the computer, the program, bro, this shit costs like $2,000.
This guy In The Groove that comes here, you should see his studio. I mean, my mind is blown. He also makes beats and stuff, but he does more like I think it's more like techno. I think I don't know exactly, but he makes music. He's got a nice studio.
I tell you one
I'm
thing,
sure he could do hip hop too.
That music production shit is expensive, bro. The equipment costs a lot of money.
I always wanted to make my own beats, but I never had the opportunity to. Equipment isn't cheap.
No, it's not.
Like a sampler. I think a sampler. I don't know really too much about equipment, but I think because I back in the days, I used to work at Friendly's back in like '97, and I had a roommate. I'll never forget. His name is Chill, and he had a beat machine and a keypad piano. Not a keypad piano, just a piano. And he would make the beats, and man, very old school. He had it hooked up to a surround sound, and we would put the beats on a tape.
Oh shit! Oh, that must have sounded cool as fuck, then.
Yeah, very analog, but I even made using the PS2 Funk Flex beat maker. My friend had that. He made a bunch of beats.
Yep, you can make beats on that.
We made a whole album back in the day.
A lot of people did that when that shit came out, bro. A lot of people were making albums using that shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If you want, you could go on an app on your phone to make beats called BandLab. It's free. Don't cost nothing.
Yeah, I got BandLab.
You can make beats on BandLab, bro.
For real?
Yeah, you can.
That's where
you can do everything on BandLab. Really, you could use BandLab as your whole studio if you wanted to.
That's what I do. I take the instrumental. Sometimes I cut it up so I could extend it for other people. I mean, I'm pretty good with that. And putting sound effects and all that, laying the vocals down. But the only thing left for me to do is learn how to make beats. I want to get a sampler somehow.
A sampler is expensive, bro. You're talking about a beat machine. A beat machine is going to cost you, for a decent one, $800.
That ain't that bad. I thought you were going to say 10 grand.
Nah. You ain't buying a car.
The RZA, what's a 48 track mix board? He always used to talk about a 48 track mix board. I'm like, what? I know what a mix board is.
Big giant mixing table.
Yeah, the RZA is one of my favorite producers, man. Like,
it will probably make your music sound really good though if you just run it through it. You wouldn't even have to mix anything, just run it through the fucking machine. It'll probably make your music sound really nice.
A lot of people would diss the RZA and say he was trash, but he paved the road for a lot of his sound. When he would make an album, like produce it, to me, it was like a musical book. You know, like Cuban Links, Only Built for Cuban Links was Liquid Swords, Capadonna's The Pillage. I'm trying to think. Inspector Deck's album was all right, but his album, he was going to have a Spider-Man theme, he said. That would have been fire, but his album got ruined in a flood. That sucks. He told that in the interview. That would have been dope if he would have went the Spider-Man theme. And then to Cal. Method Man to this day is still one of the best lyricists ever, man.
There's this rapper that I'm listening to. He's new. I mean, he's not new. He's old, but he's new to me because I never heard of him. His name is Evil Pimp. But
Evil
his music
Pimp
is pretty good.
Evil Pimp?
Yeah, it's a stupid ass name, but his music's not bad.
Evil Pimp. I'm gonna have to look into that.
He's got some good songs, believe it or not, man. He's very inspired by 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah, that beat that you made, I still listen to that. I'm not gonna put nothing down because maybe somebody bought the beat off you, but I just like listening to it. I mean, that shit. I played
nobody bought that beat. You could rap on it if you want to, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know Hurricane would sound fire. Yo, Hurricane, when he raps quick, that shit's fire. That's his strong suit, is when he rhymes fast.
Yep.
I think
he
Hurricane
sounds good when he raps slow.
Yeah. I know. I was just thinking that too. I was like, yeah, you know, I don't want him to like think I'll diss him. If you and Hurricane worked together and made an album, that should be fire, man. For real. Like an EP or something.
He's rapped on a lot of my beats already.
Like I told Hurricane, man, I said people still buy CDs or sell digital copies. Like, I personally think Hurricane's work is buyable. Like, I know I'm nice, but I need to sometimes I be rhyming and shit, and I don't be in the right mind state. I get lazy too. I gotta, you know, take it more serious. I'm never satisfied with my work either. I think the only other rapper I ever heard that was like that was Ghostface. He's just like me. I'm always thinking I could do it better and better and better. I'm never satisfied.
I don't think I ever heard of any rap songs before.
I made a few with, I think I made like 3 with Hurricane. And I made probably 4 with Sir Drop. And I got a beat that I got from Phenom Rogue. And I just I redid my vocals the other day, and I'm about to lay them down on the beat. Because In the Groove told me, he's like, when you get mad and you rhyme, it sounds better than when you're laid back. Because even sometimes I'd be too laid back, I think. I sound all depressed and shit in some of my rhymes.
I might go back and switch up that beat that you like that I made. I might go back and I don't know, make it a little bit more old school because it's got those 808s in it, and you know 808s wasn't a thing back in the day.
Yeah, this beat right here. Where is it? This one.
Yeah, this is on me playing the piano, bro.
This shit's fire, bro. Like, super fire. When the bass comes in right here. Yo, that shit. You played all that. That makes it even better. Because some people just like use computer programs and they don't play the actual sounds.
They use loops. They use loops that are pre-made. If you ask me, bro, that's cheating, bro. Because if you're gonna sell a beat that you made out of loops, you might as well not even sell it. You might as well just rap on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is kind of wild now that I think about it. Like the whole point is to make a beat from scratch. That's a real producer.
Sampling is a different story. Because when you take something like a sample from a movie or some shit and you turn it into a beat, that takes some creativity. But people that are just taking loops and making beats out of them and selling them shits, that's cheating, bro.
I take sounds, like I take quotes and stuff from movies. I use them for intros, or like the song I just made with Hurricane. It's like 3 minutes long. I took George Bush's quotes or things that he had said in the speech, and I slowed his voice down. I used that because it tied in with my verse, but I got that from the Wu, you know, and you know, like the Wu would use kung fu, but you know, I use movie stuff. I forgot who was the first person I ever heard use like movie stuff for interludes, and damn, I don't know. I know the RZA did it best when he would use the kung fu movies.
The Wu-Tang Clan would use stuff from kung fu movies in the beginning of their songs.
Yeah, like sampling sounds, to me, that's what hip hop, you know, that's what hip hop is about in the beginning. They sampling, and that takes time too. You got to listen to, you got to have an ear for sound. And I mean, I could only imagine, like The Alchemist, he's one of my other favorite producers. And I could only imagine, he has so many records, sometimes sitting there listening to shit just to find a certain sound. Could take fucking a month, you know, depending. And then Stu Bangers, you ever heard of him? He's on YouTube. Stu Banger. He made beats for a lot of people like Sean Price, Helter Skelter, Vinny Paz, and them. But I like sitting there watching them do it from scratch. You know, that's when you really could see somebody's talent. You know, when they build a beat from scratch. That shit's awesome.
A lot of the time, what I'll do is I'll play something out on the piano, right? And I'll play it out, and then I'll throw it onto the beat pad thing. And then the beat pad thing, like I could press the pad, and it'll play the sample. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I could chop up the sample and have it in different sections, so each pad could play a different section of the melody, and I'll chop it up and I'll make a beat like that.
Fucking people, a lot of people don't realize that a producer, a person who makes a beat, is just like rhyming. They're expressing themselves through the sounds. Because I mean,
say making beats is harder than
too.
writing rhymes, but I have to disagree, bro. Making beats is easy to me.
To you,
it's harder. It's harder for me to come up with rhymes. I don't know how the fuck people freestyle.
It's one and the same. Like a producer is expressing through the sounds and the beat itself. Just like when I'm writing, I listen to the beat talks to me in certain ways. It gives me certain feelings, puts me in a certain mood, you know, or it brings out certain thoughts.
Right. Yep.
I've always loved music. I always wanted to sample that song by the Beatles. When I was younger, I used to listen to the Beatles, and my aunt, she was a Beatle fanatic. And then my mother would listen to like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, some country stuff. And then my uncle would listen to like Metallica and fucking that type of rock. But Leonard Skinner. But I always wanted to sample that song "Lonely People" by the Beatles.
That's
I forgot someone beat me. Yeah, someone beat me to it
before you do.
I don't know how to do it, but I always had that thought it'd be dope for someone to. I heard someone. I looked it up on YouTube. Someone did it. They made a beat with it, but
I'm sure somebody did.
I thought Jay-Z beat me to it. I'm not sure. Somebody used that already. I could be wrong. All the lonely people. I'm terrible at singing, but
the violins and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's fire. Do it. If you could do it, shit. That would be dope to write to, man. Make a song.
I could do it. That'd be easy. I'll throw a little piano thing on it too to make it like, my own.
I wanted to write a song dedicated to like my mother and my family that passed away and all my friends, but I still have yet to do that. I need I wouldn't even know where to start. Fuck. I'm always directing my anger in a lot of my rhymes towards the government. Trying to wake people up, man. People are fast asleep. Who's in the chat? What's up, Scott Severini? Nobody dies. Avatar to Avatar. I've been looking.
I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
All right. You think, Scott Severini, these people could switch consciousness? I heard something where they figured out how to grow clone bodies and they transfer their consciousness over. Now, how they would grow these bodies, I have no fucking clue. That part I have a problem with. I don't want to say believing, but accepting that they can grow a body, which I look at a lot of alchemy and they always show a baby in an alchemy jar growing in some of these old school alchemy pictures. So maybe they did figure out how to make a synthetic womb, but makes me wonder because I know people could fake pictures, but I've seen old pictures and it looks like some of these people been here a long time. I also think they could slow aging down too with oscillators and eating correctly and not putting all this poison into your body. But Elon's wife did it years ago. It even made the news. Like, because something's going on. Because if you look at the old Trump, if you look at Trump with his wives, each Trump with a different wife, to me, is a different Trump. Their bone structures are different. Something's going on. Yeah. Clones, too. Like, I personally think we're all genetically modified. We're a lesser species. We've been modified from the original genetics. People think because their parents gave birth to them that they're not a clone. Whoever's running the show here definitely These underground laboratories, man. Because where are all these children coming from? The birth rate is so low. Where are all these fucking children coming from? Nobody's like fucking really. They say the birth rate is really low. So it makes me wonder what's going on. Who knows? I sure as fuck would like to find one of these underground facilities.
They're probably locked up, bro. You wouldn't be able to get into them. They're locked up. They're sealed, bro.
Probably. I don't know if I would want to go down there.
Would be able to bust open one of them shits, bro.
I wouldn't want to go down there by myself either, unless I was armed. Adam and Eve.
God knows what's down there, bro.
Adam and Eve weren't just. Wait, Adam and Eve weren't just the two of them. Actually, 72 pairs of clones we come from. I've always felt like that I don't know. I've always felt like I was sent here for a reason, man. And it isn't just to work some fucking job and slave for somebody and just existing. I always felt like I had a purpose to fight against evil. But a lot of good warriors have been locked up in prison, man. There's a lot of warriors locked up and they're never coming home. Man, I couldn't believe when I went to prison. These prisons are so packed with people, and some people deserve to be in there, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of good people in prison for nonviolent crimes. Yo, they got 40 years. There's a lot of people in prison for marijuana, which is a nonviolent crime. They're doing, you know, some people got life, 40 to life for fucking weed. I used to watch this guy from California who got locked up in the 70s. He just came home in 2015 or 16 or 17, somewhere around there. He was locked up since the 70s for marijuana.
Damn.
Like, it's hard. Once you're in prison, man, and your sentence is set, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, once you're in the system, it's hard to get out, bro.
The greatest country in the world. What an illusion. We got the most in prison, the most homeless, the most hungry, the most with no jobs. We're being fucked over from every angle in this country. But it's up to us to make the change. Everybody's sitting back waiting on a savior when they don't even realize they're the savior. No one's coming to save no one. We're our own saviors. I think, to me, in my opinion, that's the biggest okie doke in religion. Is that people are looking outside themselves for all the answers. one of those Allen Iverson okey dokes.
You got a point there, actually. That is true.
You know, even when I was younger, I would think to myself, people are waiting on the savior to fall from the sky and return to save them. And I would think, man, what are we waiting for a savior? We could solve these problems right now. But
yeah, but the world don't work like that, bro. People are gonna do fucked up shit no matter what. You can't fix the world, bro.
Yeah. My Mark Twain quote comes in mind. You can it's easier to fool a person than convince them they've been fooled. That's the sad part.
People they're out there, bro. They're born fucked up. They're born that way. They're fucked up. They're fucked up in the mind. We just take a look at Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer came from a loving home with loving parents, and look at what he did to people.
That's crazy. Jeffrey Dahmer.
He fucking chopped people up and ate them and put them in fucking tanks where they decompose into mush. That's fucking crazy.
And then that makes me wonder, where did he learn that from? Right?
He did that all on his own, bro. He didn't learn that from nobody. That all came out the mind of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Damn. I thought he was like maybe joined some satanic people eating
crew. He wasn't
some
satanic shit. I watched the movie about him. But he was a weirdo, bro. He used to kill all these men, and he thought that by keeping their bones, that they'll be with him forever. That's fucking crazy.
Damn. This cat had a bone necklace. He probably had heads in the freezer. How about, I seen a video of this young kid, man, or young, I hate that word kid, young man. He was, what's up, Renegade? Damn, I think he was 13, and it shows the cop coming to his house. His mother called him. And the cop asked him, he goes, your mother found some things in your room. And the kid goes, I said it again. The young man goes, and what? The cop asked him, do you have a pair of hands and a head in your room? And the young man goes, yeah. And then the cop's questioning him, and he said he killed the guy because he wanted to feel how it is to kill somebody. He cut his hands off and his head and brought him home.
That's horrible. There's people out there that are like that, though, man. There are. And they usually prey upon people that they know that they could kill. You know what I mean? They're nothing like crazy or tough. They're not tough. They really aren't. They prey upon victims they know that they can get away with. They'll either drug the victim so that they're totally inebriated, or they'll prey upon the weaker ones that can't defend themselves.
Yeah, when I was younger, my mother used to tell me to be careful, this and that, but I was never worried about it. Because we always rolled 10, 15 deep, but
that's the best way to do it. Roll with a group of friends that you know they're not fucking weird, and you'll be good.
No one can deny the human meat tastes good.
I knew a sick little fuck that used to take a lighter. You know those plastic slides at parks?
Yeah.
He used to take a fucking lighter, this sick little, I caught him doing it one day and I beat the shit out of him. But he used to take razor blades and then melt the plastic with a lighter and then stick the razor blades inside the slide so that when a little kid goes down it, he fucking cut up his fucking legs.
What?
I seen the kid doing it. His name was
What
Jeffrey.
the hell?
And I remember when I seen him doing that, I punched him straight in the face. I was like 12 years old. And this kid was like 13, 14 years old. I kicked the shit out of him. Because I caught
That's
him doing that shit.
disturbing, man.
He
I
was
knew
a sick little fuck.
every
He was
generation.
angry at the world. He was angry at the world because he had diabetes. That's the only way I could think of it. And he had like severe ADHD, and he was just a weird kid.
They said I had ADHD, but I didn't believe them. I was just hyper. I had mad energy. I look back, they had me drugged up for a while, and I just stopped taking the medication. They had me on Ritalin, so high of a dose, I couldn't even function in school. I'd fall asleep at my desk.
That same kid stabbed somebody. The kid I was just talking about, he stabbed somebody in the woodwork. You know how in school they have woodworking, like where you like, do like projects and shit. He stabbed somebody with a box cutter in there.
I'm surprised they still have woodworking. I was talking about that one day. I remember we had
That was
woodworking.
back when I was in school, though, man. I'm 28.
Yeah, in middle school we had woodworking.
Uh-huh. Yep. In middle school and high school, they had woodworking. I liked that class. That was one of my favorite classes.
MK Ultra U. MK
Remember,
Ultra.
I made a rocket, and the shit it worked fucking fantastically. I remember it went into the sky, went far into the sky. I made a good rocket.
Damn, I've been muted this whole time and I was talking. I said, "What's up, Jason?" Woodworking and mechanics, yeah. We had sewing and woodwork shop. I loved woodwork shop. Yeah, I'm pretty good for now. I'm pretty good for now. Trying to find a new place to move to, man. It's just difficult. Everything's so expensive, man. I can't believe how much the prices went up here. It's fucking insane, man. Just for a room to rent, it's like $800-900 for a fucking room people charge. This is insane, man. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm so fucking tired of this fucking country. When I speak to people from Bangladesh or Pakistan, they say their country's nothing like here. They don't get taxed. Nobody's homeless. No one's in the streets. Everyone has somewhere to live. No one goes hungry. They have in the streets food for days, vegetables, fresh vegetables that aren't GMO or grown with fucking pesticides. I mean, you know, people talk shit about Pakistan and all these other countries because they've probably never been there. I talk to people who are from there. And, you know, they got tons of fruit and vegetables in the streets that are cheap, you know, and it's all healthy. They don't eat processed garbage, you know, and they don't play either. They don't allow their government to fucking do any of the shit that we just sit back and let our government do. I always thought America would never come to this. I always thought America was full of warriors and patriotic people who would never let the government overstep their boundaries. But yet, here we are. Here the fuck we are. It's mind-blowing to me. You know, all these so-called warriors that were in the military that say foreign and domestic. There's so much domestic terrorism going on. I don't see any of these fucking warriors in sight anywhere. All that talk about foreign and domestic terrorism. Come to think of it, there never was any foreign terrorist either. The only terrorist I know of is our own government. I know America is not the best country. That's the illusion they sell you. You know, in America, they got fucking cities that are abandoned in America. And, you know, if people were smart in America, we would be putting a law in place to where no one should be homeless. We would fight to get laws put in place to where no pesticides are being sprayed on our food, to these planes to stop fucking spraying chemicals on us. And if they don't listen, we have to step it up a notch. Sometimes certain things are the answer, if you know what I mean. But I really think something's going on, man, because people seem to be desensitized like a motherfucker, man. Maybe people's penile glands are calcified. Something's going on, because I just don't get how people don't get upset about this stuff. Like, even when Dom comes up here, I get what he's saying, but like JK said yesterday, I'm not going to lay down and roll over. I'm not living on my knees to these people.
Honestly,
I'd rather
the technology is what keeps people distracted, bro. The fucking phone, the apps, the constant influx of media and entertainment keep people dulled down.
Yeah.
If it was like back in the day, they didn't have that shit, people would be flipping out, bro.
That's a good point. America is full of greedy millionaires. I seen somewhere in Illinois there's a bunch of abandoned mansions. And I was like, wow. Like, even here in the city I live in, there's a bunch of apartment buildings that have been abandoned since the 90s, since I was a teenager. And they're still there, abandoned. There's a lot of stuff that's abandoned that.
Why did they tear that shit down? It's been there since the 90s? Damn.
Yeah, they could have fixed it up and fucking, made some housing or something. See,
they probably are one day. That's probably why they're keeping it there.
They have this place called the Friendship Center. It's federally grant. It gets federal grants to help homeless people, but yet when I passed by there's like 40 homeless people hanging around, and I'm going to interview these people because I want to know why ain't they helping the homeless? Where's this money going? Are these people pocketing the money instead of helping? Because that's what I think's going on.
Just be careful dealing with them homeless people, bro. They're fucking scam artists. I don't like homeless people, bro. Believe it or not, I was homeless for a little while. I see what they do. They're not good. I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro. Homeless people aren't good people. They're not. A lot of them are drug addicts. Like 90% of them are drug addicts. And they're just, dude, all they're really looking for is their next fix, bro.
That is true. A lot of them need help.
They do need help. They need rehab. They need rehabilitation. Yeah. They need to stick with the program, too. They need to stick with the fucking program.
What's up, Jason?
Hi, guys.
What's up?
You right, Charles?
Huh?
I was just saying hello to Charles. Is my audio okay?
Yeah.
You must be from Australia.
No, I'm from the UK.
Oh, the UK. Oh, sounded like you were from Australia for a minute.
Yeah, a lot of people mistake me for Australia.
So it must be like what? Like 3 in the afternoon where you are right now, 3 or 4?
Yes, 10 past 3.
10 past 3. Yeah, it's 10 past 10 right now where I am. It's 10 in the morning.
Where are you?
I'm in New York.
Right.
Hey, fools and tools. How you doing? I seen this video, Jason. This guy went to Home Depot. What the fuck was that? This guy went to Home Depot and he was showing like ingredients and some candy and stuff, and it was something phosphate.
I saw that yesterday. Yeah, I saw that yesterday, mate. Yeah.
And he went to Home Depot and got a bag of phosphate. That's crazy. It's a chemical, literally, they sell. Man, like they're poisoning the fuck out of us here.
Yeah, that did get me thinking. I saw that yesterday, Charles, actually, because you don't. it's like certain things, like if you buy, say, a batter mix, you know, what you add an egg to make pancakes or whatever, you know, that's just milk,
batter, that's what it was,
yeah.
Right.
But normally that's just milk and flour and egg, isn't it, and some salt. But when you buy it in those packets, it's got, and it wasn't just that one chemical. There's loads of other things in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Was that the one that was going on about the noodles as well? How they make those dried noodles? Because I'm going to stop eating those instant dried noodles, you know, because this thing was saying they're more like plastic from food for their digestibility. And for something that's just made again from like flour and water and egg, man, it's got some nasty stuff in it, you know, including before they put it into the packet, they spray the inside of the packet with a chemical that it basically is an appetite stimulant, so that it makes you eat more of them. So you think you're hungry and you're not.
Man, they're killing us slow, man. I seen a video where this guy took a Dorito and put it under the microscope.
I saw that one as well, yeah, with all the little insects under it.
Oh my God.
I've actually got a digital microscope. I did make a mental note to check out the crisp.
It makes me just not want to eat anymore, man.
Do you know what? I had exactly the same thought, Charles. I really did.
I got to get out of America, man, before they kill me here. I have to get out of here. It's the only way, man. People be like, oh, you shouldn't run, man. Well, what the fuck? We ain't doing shit here. Nobody ain't standing up to do anything. What do you think? I'm going to sit around and just fucking... People rather just sit around and watch the prison be built, this digital prison. And then when it's done being built, it'll be too late. People are like, oh, man, we should have did something, yo. Every data center that goes up is a step closer to checkmate. There's already over 100,000 fucking flock cameras up, or scanners. There's probably over 1 million cameras, probably 6 million nationwide, probably way more than that.
I reckon per head, right, of capita, the UK's got the most surveillance cameras than anywhere because of the size of it, because it's relatively small, isn't it, the population?
It's fucking disgusting.
I'm gonna dip out for a little while, but if you're on later, I'll be back.
All right, man.
See you later.
DJ Graves.
All right, peace out, guys.
Thank you, DJ.
Yeah, DJ Graves makes good music, man. He makes good beats. I love his beats. But yeah, I've been working on more music. I got to try to finish this song today.
Yeah, I have listened to a little bit of yours. It's pretty good, gotta say it.
I just got to get a better microphone so I can sound better. And this verse that I did, I'm way more enthusiastic. I'm putting my heart into it. Because the stuff I speak about, I'm real serious about it. And when I listen to myself, I sound too laid back. I don't sound, I need to be more aggressive because I'm real dead serious about what I speak about. And I've been a revolutionary my whole life. And we need a fucking revolution, man. That's what the fuck we need. People think we could solve this with peace. How are you gonna solve this with peace when these people are poisoning us? They'll kill us in a fucking heartbeat and they have no problem with it. What, are you gonna go talk to these people? Hey, can you please stop poisoning us? We try to tell them not to put data centers up and they laugh at us.
Well, they don't listen. They don't care, Charles, do they? I mean, the whole thing to me nowadays just seems like managing their MO is just to manage it, because if you think about it, for example, like in the 60s with the, all the things going on there, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the race thing and all of that, people will probably, had the same opinions as they have now, people like myself and you. But it's just about managing it from their point of view so that, the wheels keep turning. They really don't give a shit, do they? Think about it. And it is. There's a book I read years ago called Snow Crash. It's a science fiction book. It's a really, really good book. One of my favourite books of all time. But in it, he paints a vision of the future that's kind of. It's a bit cyberpunk. But a lot of stuff that he put into that book, not only has it become reality now, it's actually surpassed how he put it in the book. And when I read the book, for example, they had this thing where they put on the VR glasses. They call it the metaverse, it's called. And when you put on the glasses, it's like augmented reality. And the one thing that's prominent in the book that he describes in great detail, and I was fascinated by it, was this map of the Earth that he had. And you could just click on it and you could just look at anywhere on the Earth, and it was like, wow. And nowadays you've got Google Earth, right? It's literally that. And also in the book, like America's been divided up into all these enclaves that you need a passport to pass from one to the other, and each enclave is owned by like a different corporation. Like the mafia are like legit in the future. They own all the pizza places. It's called the Costa Nostra Pizza Company, and basically the corporations own everything and have taken over. And it's pretty much what's happening now today, if you think about it.
Yeah, I know fools and tools, but I'm just not gonna tuck my tail and fucking. This is why we're in this position, because we can't come together and people just tuck their tail. Yeah, they're not gonna stop doing what they're doing, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So what, we're just gonna sit back and fucking. Because that's what it looks like to me. People just want to be in this digital prison. Talking ain't going to work. These people are going to do what they want to do regardless, man. And the only answer I have for that is I ain't going to say it on here. But I have a solution. I really don't care if they put me in a box. I've been in a box before. It's no different than being in a prison out here. Prison's a prison. If you're being surveyed every day, all day long, what type of fucking life is that? Where you got people watching your every move, controlling your food, controlling your water, controlling your life. That ain't no fucking life.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say something that would have sounded really negative then, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say something else instead. Did you hear about this? Trump released these UFO files this week. Yeah, I've got a lot to say about that. I really have, because back in the...
I've seen those. They're fucking hilarious.
Well, back just before the year 2000, we were hosting crop circles in this country, right? And there was a UFO thing there where they did think disclosure was coming. And I'll be honest, back in the day when I believed in it, I did think it was coming myself. And what they're doing nowadays is it's kind of like a re-emergence of that, and I think they've done it more than once as well, because those files they released, half of them were well, I don't know how many, but they were a mixture of like old things from the 60s, and some of it I think was quite obviously not real, and then there was some other stuff. But there was a point in time, Charles, where that would have been that would have been all over the media. Every media outlet would have covered that, because that's kind of a big deal. Back in the year, just before the year 2000, when it was big at the time. If that had happened then, that would have been a massive big deal, and the normal media hasn't even covered it. They're too worried. They're too busy basically going on about the situation in the Middle East and and all of this. And I can't help but think that all of this stuff, let's get the UFO talk recently, it's just well, Disclosure Day is coming out next month, isn't it? I'll leave it at that. New Spielberg film. Could just be hyped for that.
Yeah, I know these data centers are more than what we're being told. I think they're all part of the surveillance prison. By the time the people here in America decide to come together and they realize that it doesn't matter your race, your religion, it doesn't matter if you got a lot of money, a little money, none of that matters. We're all going to be in the same prison. By the time people realize that, it'd be too late, man.
Could be a lot of reasons for them, but I think you can pretty much guarantee that they're more than what they're letting on.
People think Christian, Muslim. Oh, I'm a Christian, man. I'm better than you. Oh, I'm a Muslim, and this is better. None of that shit matters, man. Personally, it might, but at the bigger picture, we're all fucked regardless. If we're tall, skinny, fat, fucking homeless, not homeless. None of that shit matters, man. What matters is they're poisoning us all the same. They're putting us in this digital prison all the same. There's really nothing to talk about. We need solutions. I'm tired of screaming from the mountaintop. I've been doing this for way too long, man. I want solutions. And then there's like stupid people out there that be like, well, do something about it, Chuck. Like I could do it by myself. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I'm not a fucking lone wolf idiot. My mind's already in prison.
Yeah, what you said earlier about foreign terrorism, and they don't exist. I have said this to you before, but
no, they exist, but not in the way they're presenting it. The foreign terrorists are the very ones that people think are our government. They're the foreign terrorists. They're making people believe that China is the enemy and Russia. No, the enemy is telling you that the enemies are outside the country. The enemy's right in front of our face telling us to look somewhere else.
Yeah. ZOG, they call it, isn't it? Zionist occupational government.
They're the enemy, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. The police are the enemy. They know what they're doing. They know what side they're choosing. That's it. That's how I've always
say
seen it.
that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, don't they? All depends what side of the fence you're on, I suppose.
I look at it this way. I ain't going to no FEMA camp. And if they start rounding up, I'm going to start rounding out. I'm going to start loading up my rounds.
I think, the practicalities of rounding up people and putting them into FEMA camps isn't as simple as you think, really. I mean, they're going to need a pretty solid reason for doing it so they can sell it to everybody else,
I've always had this irky feeling ever since these data centers are being put up, and what's coming is not going to be pretty, man. I feel it. It is not going to be pretty.
Well, basically, Europe's just been overrun by, immigration from all over the world.
Hey, you guys got it the worst.
It's crazy, but America's got just a bigger problem, but a different problem. I mean, Europe is crazy now. Every country in Europe is just full of these migrants. It's crazy. But America's got a similar issue, but different in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like they're deliberately grinding it into the ground because, just to, I don't know, but it just seems like what they're doing.
Man, imagine, look at China. They got to register kitchen knives. To me, that's what's coming here, man. Look, they got
like
cars.
That in this country already, Charles.
Huh?
It's like that in this country already. That has been for years.
I don't know what it's going to take for people to realize that these people are not going to stop. They're going to keep tightening the noose on their necks. It's not going to stop. They're just going to keep going and going. These new cars they're putting out, and they're using once again the safety loophole, which they always talk about for our safety, right? Like they give two fucks. If they cared about our safety and they cared about our well-being, they wouldn't poison our fucking food. That's one. They wouldn't put fluoride in our drinking water. All right? They wouldn't be putting all these laws in place to fuck us over if they truly cared about us. But
I've got a question about water for you then, because you mentioned fluoride. If you get spring water, bottled water, so-called spring water,
who knows what's in that shit?
That's what I was going to ask you. And my next question would be, are there any real ways of properly filtering your water? I mean, I know there's a lot of ways.
That's what I want to know.
But can you actually I don't even know if you could filter fluoride out of water. I'm not certain. But my question would be, what the CEOs of these food and water companies, who know full well they're poisoning the food and water, what do these people eat and drink? Because it'll get to a point where even if they've got their own supplies of water and stuff, it's all going to get contaminated sooner or later, surely, It almost makes me think that they don't live here on what we call Earth and they live somewhere else.
Am I allowed to? Yeah. But have I done all that? This is people's fault, because if you read their oath, they are not here to protect us. They are not here for our safety. No, I mean our security, you know. It's always the good people, man, that suffer. It's wild to me that none of these scumbags ever suffer of cancer. They don't know how it is to struggle. Fuck them. Your day is gonna come real soon. You better go hide underground. Like the cowards they are. No. How about all the children that are blind to how the real world is? They have no idea what's awaiting them. I think about when I was younger, and I didn't know how savage and cruel and evil this world was.
I leave it till you learn.
Hey Marlene, how you doing? I try to think positive, but or let my frustration get the best of me. Sometimes. It would be dope to be able to live where there's no homelessness and there's no starving people, and we actually have gardens that grow real fruit, real vegetables. Like people say grow your own stuff, but who do you think controls the seeds, and what have they done to these seeds?
Yeah, Monsanto and all those GM seeds. It's like if you plant seeds now from, vegetables that you get from the supermarket, fruit and vegetables, excuse me, the plant will grow, but 9 times out of 10 it won't flower or produce fruit because they're
modified.
Yeah, well, they don't even necessarily have to be modified if they're just, just by crossing the genes, the genetics.
How about
you can do
all the
that.
metals in the ground too, from all the years of spraying?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy that had a magnet? Did
Oh,
you
I
see
saw that as
video?
well. Yeah, we must be watching the same feed or something. Yeah, I saw that, and he was going through the soil and getting all the little bits of metal out.
Hold on. Yeah, I have it right here. Look.
A friend of mine.
He's at the beach. This guy right here. You see him? He's at the beach getting all the metal out that's being sprayed.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
This is disturbing shit. When he puts it in water, it makes me think of, look at all that. God.
You know, it is true that some of those on that list there need to be in the soil for plants in small amounts, like especially magnesium, calcium. Plants need all of this.
Yeah. But in large
small
amounts? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, once it gets too toxic like that, the plants just can't.
This what disturbs me.
Oh,
right
it turns
here.
into ferrofluid.
Look at that.
Doesn't it? Yeah, ferrofluid.
Look at that, man. What the fuck? Imagine that's in our bloodstream. And all these towers, what they do.
Now, Mint's saying there about seedless grapes. Apparently, Mint's saying there about seedless grapes. I read somewhere about the seeds in grapes. There's a chemical in them that can, it's an anti-cancer chemical or something. And there's a whole conspiracy about that's why you can only get seedless grapes now. I don't know how true that is. And it's weird as well. They all the things they tell you can't eat. Oh, Charles is gone.
Man. Rigamaroo. I had to yeah, you are in a good location. What's up, Chillster Deluxe?
Hey, Chillster.
One man and his detector.
Simon.
What do you got planned for today, Popping the Bear? It's later over there.
I have just opened a can of cider here. I've got some things to do today, actually. I've got to sort out my crop.
Yeah, it's about to be 11 here. I'll probably jump off here at 11 o'clock, 20 minutes.
I saw, actually, I'll post it. I saw a trailer the other day for a new film. There's a title caught my attention. It's called Dog Stars. And it's a
Dog Star?
Dog Stars. It's a Ridley Scott.
The Dog Star is, I think Sirius. That's Orion, no?
Sirius, I think.
Oh, okay, Sirius. Yeah, you're right. Because the Sirius radio had a little dog for the symbol, I think. Remember, like Sirius Radio when they had? Yeah. I remember when that was supposed to be like this, satellite radio, but that shit wasn't satellite radio. It was tower from the tower. Like people really think there's satellites floating up. It's all tower.
Well, they could.
This guy, I said, "How do you think GPS works, Chuck? There's satellites." Maybe satelloons.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There could be things just circling around above our heads.
Not as many as they say. Like, like NASA has everybody fooled.
Well, there's definitely things up there because you can see them at night. If you spend enough time out in looking, you can see lots of them.
Yeah, like
with the space station as well, like the app that tells you when that's coming. It's really accurate. Like it always turns up to the absolute time it's supposed to be there. So whatever it is.
Yeah, but the question is, what is the space station? I think that shit's a weapon, in my opinion, direct energy.
Well, all you can really say from the ground is that it's a light in the sky that comes when the app tells you it is. You know, considering we don't believe in satellites going around the globe, there's got to be something up there that's just doing circles around our heads. You know. Yeah, I'm going to put the link to the trailer for that film. It's a post-apocalyptic looking film. That Dog Stars. It looks pretty good. I'll put the link in there.
Yeah, I wonder that too. Like Jay Heighton. When I think a lot of those, I think they do have cameras, and I think they also have technology that could zoom in from up there from these satelloons.
They could be generating energy because the higher up you go, you've got the bigger potential difference, haven't you, between the ground and the voltage in the air.
Because that's what the airplanes do. They use gas to take off, and that's about it. Once they get up, all their energy is being generated from the atmosphere. There's so much electricity up there. And that's the thing, man. They took the fifth element and said there's only 4 elements. They took the fifth element, which is ether, and that's very important, the ether. You know, they took the ether out and put gravity. Gravity. I think the school system was designed to keep us stupid.
Yeah, it's definitely changed the curriculum, because when I was at school, I noticed you said about woodworking earlier. We did woodwork, metalwork, technical drawing, and we had like home economics, cooking, sewing, practical things, you know. And nowadays, the curriculum, some of the things on it are just there's no practical skills on there at all anymore, really. But then again, in those days, there were jobs for carpenters and metal workers, so some people found their vocation at school doing that and pursued it. But nowadays, everyone wants to be a content creator, don't they?
The sun don't even look solid, man. Neither does the moon. But who knows? I think these towers play a big part in, you know, I think it's crazy. I look at ants, how they communicate with their towers. I mean, their antlers. Antlers, that's what I'm going to call them. Antennas, whatever. I wonder if these towers throw frequencies out that fuck with our, you know, our pineal gland or put people in a, I'm trying to think of a word to use. It interferes. It sort of makes people in a zombified state. You know what I mean? Like, duh, that type of mind state. Just.
And there must be the opposite of that.
Oh yeah, I'm about to work on that Hurricane. I gotta put my new verse that I did. Not my new verse. It's the same verse. I just redid it. I was more aggressive in the newer verse. It's gonna be way better anyway. But yeah, I gotta do that today. And then I was gonna cut the beat, put some interlude, and then have your verse come in. I just don't know what to put. If you have any ideas, let me know. I have to cut the beat to make it longer, cause it's on. I took most of the fucking beat up, but it ain't hard to cut it and add space. It's not hard. It takes seconds. But yeah, I just gotta upload the new verse. I say the new verse, but it's the same thing. Yeah, I had to get in. I had to get angry to spit that verse. But I like that verse that I wrote. That beat is fucking fire, man. That Phenom Rogue beat, that shit's fire. Yeah, I was talking with DJ Graves today, Hurricane. I told him, I said, man, when Hurricane spits fast, that's your strong suit, man. Not saying you can't rhyme normal because it's fire either way, but I think personally, when you rhyme fast, that shit, man, it's fire. But I was saying that if you and DJ Graves made like an EP or something, that shit would be super fire. Because he'd be making them 3 6 Mafia type beats, which fits your style perfect, man. Whenever you rhyme to them type beats, man, that shit's fire. I forgot what song I was listening to, Hurricane. You were rhyming real fast. That shit is fire. It takes a special type of talent to rhyme fast like that. And it takes a lot of practice too. But yeah, I don't think just any person, like if someone never rhymed fast in their life, I don't think they could just do it off the rip. Even Eminem had to practice when he tried it. He said it took him a while. The Micro Machine. Who remembers the Micro Machine, man? Anyway. When this system collapses, it ain't going to be pretty, man. And I think that's why a lot of these data centers are going up. Because I think when the system collapses and people go crazy, they're just gonna execute people. That's all. That's how the government solves the problems. Is they'll kill you fast, body bag you real quick. That's their solution to everything, man. Their solution to help homeless people is they drive around in a truck here and they'll take your tent and all your belongings and throw it in the garbage. They go around with a garbage truck. That's how they solve homelessness around here. You know, just throw all your shit out. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw you in with the fucking tent. That's how they'll solve the homelessness. Yeah. You know, like I was saying earlier about that Friendship Center place, they get federal grants to help the homeless people, and they get lots of money, $2 million. My question is, how is there so many homeless people if they're getting all this money to help people? What's going on here? You know, I think it trickles down from the mayor to city hall, and these programs are just robbing the government, and they ain't helping people. They're lining their pockets with the money. And it just takes a special type of someone to speak out, because they take advantage of these people in these programs. A lot of these people are old and they're sick, like my roommate was, and these people take advantage, man, of these fucking people. And the people don't say nothing because they're old. They can't stand the ground. It's fucked up. It is fucked up. I seen a video of a dude that lived underground, yo. This cat went under a bridge and he literally dug out this spot, and he lives under a fucking bridge. He had electricity and everything. It's in California. You know, it would be dope to find an underground bunker, yo, that's abandoned, that still has electricity. Where you're at, Jason, I see videos of people in the UK finding these bunkers in fucking the middle of the woods out in the UK.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those. Yeah, I mean, I think you've got them in where you are as well. You just find these really random, like a little entrance with some steps going down and stuff.
And it had electricity too, and there was like old German cars down there, and all sorts of like military stuff left behind. But they had flooded it out. One of them, they like flood them out and shit. But
they probably need pumps running, don't they? Some of them for keeping the water out. There was a video I saw of someone in America. I don't know where it was, and it was showing their underground like thing that they built. It was a mine owned by a family, and it was only like a private mine, like pretty big. He must have quite a big family because they've all parked RVs and everything down there for ready for if anything happens. And it's quite well set up and it's quite big as well. But this is just one private citizen showing you around what they've got. So if you think about that compared to the finances available to some people,
Explain that, Candy. That thing that you posted. That was very interesting that you were talking about. Because, yeah, all the Jews are all fake. All these Jews that claim to be Jews are all fake, man. They wear bungee cords on the side of their head. That's so hilarious, man. I always wonder how it would be if I was born and I didn't upload all this bullshit into my head. Waste my time in the school uploading all these lies and bullshit that don't mean anything in life. Uploading all these books that are crock of shit. I wonder how life would be if it was just me and my family and Mother Earth. And we didn't partake in this system of infection. I think life would be a lot better.
Definitely, that's for certain.
When you're born into this world, everything's waiting for you, man. Like they got it all figured out. The system's waiting to swallow you up. Yes, the prophecies in the Bible were for those in that time, that age, the Mosaic age, the Jewish age, all ended in AD 70 with the decimation of the physical temple there in Jerusalem by Rome. Yup. The very Rome who killed this alleged Jesus guy. Now, I've seen pictures of Jesus kissing men. Yep. And he did weird things with cults and stuff. Now, from what I hear, there's 16 different Jesuses, and Christ and Jesus are not the same. Yeah, and one of those Jesuses were gay. Don't say it ain't true, because I got the pictures to prove it.
I've always found it weird that these religions require books,
right?
To tell you about it, because I've always found that strange, because let's face it, before these books were written, we must have been up to something. And like you just said there, Charles, if you lived in this world without uploading all this bullshit, you just lived with your family somewhere, hunter and gathering, planting food, you are gonna worship the kind of seasons, aren't you? Mother Earth.
People were witches, man. People were one with the earth. They grew food. They knew the cycles of the moon. They knew when to plant stuff. They were masters of the universe. The universe is within self, man.
Yeah.
They didn't need books.
Yeah, but the knowledge was there, wasn't it? I mean,
this started to get fucked up when the Catholic churches, these religions, started conquering the lands, man. Everybody knew who they truly were until religion conquered and got everyone looking outside their self. Imagine being burned alive because you didn't want to fall into no religions. So they would just burn you or hang you or kill you. Just slaughter you and your entire family because you didn't want to praise Jesus.
And that's a bit of a hypocritical thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Just killing people for if they don't convert to what you think.
Yeah,
it's not exactly conducive.
I'm so glad, man. My mother looked out for me, man, and didn't force me into no religions. That's one thing I love and respect my mother for. My mother did a good job raising me. All the shit I've done in my life is my mistakes, my stupidity, and my ignorance. My mother always tried to tell me, but me, I was hard-headed, and I needed to find out on my own. Yeah, and a lot of times I found out, all right. What's up, Kismet? I used to be a hot stove toucher. I always had to learn on my own. Like that curious child that sticks a fork in the socket? That was me.
I learned that one the hard way as well.
I did that when I was younger. I stuck a fork in the socket and blew the entire buildings. My mother whooped my ass, boy. She was like, no. I remember this. I think I was like 8. And I had the fork in my hand and I stuck it in the socket. Bam! That shit blew out the whole building. I'm grateful I didn't get electrocuted. I don't know how I didn't, but... Because I remember when I was young and I used to think my mother was plugging stuff into the wall. I used to think they were bringing sunlight inside somehow when I was real young. I always wondered how they were lighting these bulbs up in the house. I used to think they're plugging into the sun somehow, which basically you kind of are in ways. I wonder who invented a light bulb, man, and what gave them the idea to put these certain powders in a light bulb, or these this powder that creates a gas when electricity. A lot of these inventions are fucking awesome, especially VCRs and cameras. That's another invention that's odd. Like where did these thoughts come from? People say demons gave them the ideas, but what proof do they have of that? Everything's demon and demonic to people because they don't understand, son. It's demon. It's a demon.
Yeah, Simon's saying Edison there about the light bulb. But if you read about Edison, he was like a bit of a Steve Jobs. He had all the finance. He just farmed it out to the people that he employed the best quality people he could find. Apparently, that's how the light bulb was born. But he took the credit for it because he financed it.
Huh. It's crazy when people die, they see their mother and shit. How many people that's wild stuff. I wonder if it's the loss of blood or what creates that scenario. People say there's nothing before birth and nothing after death, but there's really no evidence of that either. Maybe when we die, it's like a dream state. Because that's how it felt when I died, like I was in a dream. And when I came back, it was like being sucked through a tunnel. And then I opened my eyes and I'm like, no, I'm in this shit nugget again. God didn't want you. I think it's wild that people say demons gave people ideas to build weapons and to create electricity. Like when they're not creating electricity, they're really tapping into the electricity that's already here. But I mean, when you take apart a camera, or better yet, like I always talk about how when you're recording something, how the light is traveling through a fucking copper wire into a motherboard and stores the light. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. Where do these thoughts come from to invent these things? I don't know shit. Every time I think I know something, I prove myself wrong. To be honest, I don't know anything. Jesus casted out parasites. That's what it looked like to me. You ever see a parasite up close in the microscope? I got a picture of one. You know, that motherfucker looks demonic. A little ass parasite can latch to your spine and send signals to your brain to control you. That's wild. A microscopic parasite. That's demonic. That's why they fasted a lot in the Bible. It all makes sense to me now. When Jesus is walking through the desert and they say Satan was whispering to him, no, those are the parasites talking to him, trying to get him to eat. That was his own mind talking to him. Even music. When I listen to hip hop, I talked about this the other day. I always study myself and how I feel in certain situations. I'm always analyzing. And when I listen to certain music, I get angry, and it feels like I'm being taken over by some angry demon. But that's just the frequency causing chaos in my body. These frequencies in music are very toxic for the body. Yeah, pork's terrible. Pork is very terrible. I think all meat is terrible. Like, people really think animals were put here for us to eat them. I disagree with that. I think animals are conscious too, man. You know, when you hurt an animal, it'll never forget that. It'll never forget you, and it will never forget you tried to hurt it or hurt it. It'll always remember that. I seen a bear the other day. I wanted to run up to it and give it a hug, but I ain't that stupid. Like these people, yo, that get out their car and try to hug a moose. They're fucking crazy.
Mind you, moose are big.
Hell yeah.
I never realized how big they get, actually. They get massive, don't they?
And they're strong too, yo. They hit you with them horns. Oh, it'll break your ribs. It'll fuck you up. But I personally think if you have like a baby moose or a baby bear, and like in Russia, they raise bears from babies up, and they literally wrestle with these bears. Like, if you raise an animal, I think, yes, they're still a wild animal, but it knows you, and it's a little different than just approaching a wild beast in the woods. You know what I mean? If you get it as a baby and you raise it, there's that connection with an animal. And I personally think at one point in time, all the animals are raised by people like that. I personally don't think animals are always hunting each other. That's just my personal theory. Because I got that theory through watching people raise different animals, alligators. I seen a guy who had connections with alligators. That blew my mind. Snakes, bears, moose, you name it. I've seen people raise bobcats, fucking lions. Look at Mike Tyson. He raised 2, I think they were lions or something, or tigers. But he still said, you know, they still have the animal instinct. They would size people up when they would come to his house. He would see that the tigers sizing up people, ready to pounce on them. But yeah, Adolf Hitler was born the day after my birthday, which is crazy.
So if Hitler was a vegetarian, by that logic, then vegetarianism leads to genocide. Am I right? Blame the vegetables.
Yeah, he was a Jew, yo. He is an infiltrator to Germany. He was a fucking sellout, Hitler. But one thing about him is he wasn't a racist person. That's all fallacy. He shook black people's hands. As a matter of fact, there were black Germans that fought in the war. So I didn't know that. I just found this out. But that doesn't make him not a bad. Look, in war, there's nothing good about war. It don't matter what fucking side. War is pointless in ways. Like, even if we had the fight to become so-called free, there's nothing good that's going to come out of it, man. You know, we could have been free from this digital prison if we would have nipped it in the bud. But instead, we've become trained to where through generations, they teach the children that the government is running the show. And that's where we went wrong. You know, by letting them, they control everything. And that's another big mistake.
They don't lead by example, though, do they, really, the governments? They don't. There were local elections last week in this country, and Labour got absolutely trounced. And the Reform Party got the majority of the new votes, apparently. But when you look at what they're talking about nowadays, they don't want to change the situation with all the migrants coming and everything, even though that's what they originally were into. Now they're talking about, what's it called, integration and all of this. So that, it doesn't really matter who you vote for, because it's just a change of the front man, isn't it? The management behind the scenes still sounds the same.
Like, I don't want to go to war, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to let these people fucking step all over me. And if it comes down to it, I'm going to handle my business and stand in my square. So be it. I'd rather be dead than fucking live in what's coming. And that's just me. I'm dead serious. I'd rather be fucking dead. I don't know how China lives like that. You gotta register your knives. The government completely controls you to the fucking no end. You got no privacy. You got neighbors snitching on each other. Let's say you smoke a cigarette and your neighbor don't like it. They'll fucking tell on you. Oh, there goes your point system. Like, what type of fucking life is that, man? I forgot what city in China has that point system. Is it No, it's not Shanghai. It's it's the most digital city in China, and they're already rolling out police robots. I seen the video this morning. They got police robots they're gonna start rolling out. Literally robot, like people looking robots. And they got, it says police. The robot had a little light on it. It said police. And the robot literally made a kung fu stance, like to fight people. These robots look like the Terminator. What, the robots, Hurricane? And if China got them, the U.S. got them. The T-800, yeah. The U.S. is because the U.S. sucks China's bone. I can't get over how we allow this shit, man. We outnumber these people, and yet these people are like the ultimate sheep herders. I gotta say that, yo. Like 1% really controls the whole world, yo. That's mind blowing to me. Are we either this dumb? Are we this stupid? Like yesterday, Dom said that, you know, people just want to do what they want. That has nothing to do with it, man. Just because someone wants to be so-called free doesn't mean I want to do what I want, right? I don't want to kill people or hurt people. I just want to be able to live my life without fucking struggling because the government is sucking us fucking dry of everything. We're being taxed to oblivion. I want to be able to grow real fruit and vegetables. But even that's going to become a problem, man. You know, I wonder how contaminated the soil is from all the metal they've been spraying, you know? It makes me wonder how bad the soil really is now. Because if that guy went to the beach with a magnet and pulled that metal out of the sand, imagine the fucking dirt. It is a global invasion. Look, we're being occupied by terrorists. The Constitution don't exist no more. And they'll tell you that to your face. The United States is being occupied by a foreign entity. Why do you think when the police come, they take an oath, but they don't abide by it? Because they're not abiding by the Constitution anymore. That's why they'll beat the fucking living shit out of you for a broken taillight. These are all foreign entities. And they know people ain't gonna do shit about it. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see.
JK saying there about fentanyl being a weapon of mass destruction. That could very well be true, but you know, we did have 2 wars with China about opium when we had them all addicted to
opium. I love
opium.
opium.
So they kind of owe us for that, don't they, in a way? You know?
You ever take a Percocet? I love the feeling, but I don't like the aftermath. That's the problem. The aftermath is no joke.
Really.
Huh?
I'm not a big fan of opiates, really.
No, I mean, I like the high is relaxing, but like I said, the aftermath is detrimental. And that's why China hated it so much, because what it did to the people, man, it destroys you. You literally, it's poison.
Yeah,
literally.
It's physically addictive as well, isn't it? Like alcohol.
Anything's addictive.
They're very similar.
If you do enough of anything, it's a habit. There's people that are addicted to McDonald's cheeseburgers. And look at them. They look like a sack of cheeseburgers. No disrespect to anyone. It's just what it is. Anything could become an addiction. Anything. You know, and a lot of these doctors, I just seen what Kismet said about meds. A lot of these doctors, man, that's the perfect name for them, because they're only doctoring the fucking problem. They're treating it, not solving it, and not curing it. So yeah, doctors are just garbage. I hate to say it. They're not about curing anything. They're about giving you chemical fucking pills. You know, their answer for depression or people are down and out, their answer is to drug you up. Put you on some mirtazapine, some Seroquel, some tranquilizers, so you can't function and you're dying in your own apartment. That's what they want. They want you to just lay there on medication. Do you know how many people die a year off marijuana? None. Do you know how many people die every year off pharmaceutical prescriptions? Hundreds of thousands.
A lot, yeah.
Even cocaine. Nobody dies off of cocaine. You know, you can, don't get me wrong, but, you know, all right, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. I'll say maybe 10 or 20 people will die off of cocaine a year. That still does not amount to the people who die off pharmaceutical drugs, you know?
Yeah, for certain. I mean, ecstasy, for example, deaths from ecstasy in this country a few years ago, I read in a year there was less than 50 deaths from related to ecstasy, but there was something like, I don't know how many, I think it was like 50,000 attributed to paracetamol or something.
I used to get some real good ecstasy back in '98 from Europe. I used to get these double stack Supermans, and it was pure MDMA. I used to go to raves and stuff. I used to get these other ones that were dipped in acid. We used to call it candy flipping. I remember one night I took shrooms, I smoked dust, and I took 2 E-pills. Let me tell you. You want to talk about flying through the universe? I was talking to my ancestors.
I like mushrooms.
You don't? You don't like them?
Oh, I do like them, yeah. I used to grow them.
What?
A few years back now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I used to have people turning up at my place maybe 4 nights a week to have mushroom trips. So I was, you know, some weeks I was doing more than 4 trips a week.
We're 400 times worse than the Great Depression right now. The inflation rate. Yeah. I couldn't believe when they doubled my rent up like that. I still think it's illegal to do that. But somehow they get away with it. I've never seen that in my life, where your rent could go from $985 to $1,700. I've never seen that in my life, but people are doing it. This country, I never thought in my life I would see the country get this bad, man. I thought, like I said earlier, I thought for sure there's warriors out here and we would come together and never let this happen, but I was fucking wrong. I didn't realize how soft America has become, you know. When 9/11 happened, all the warriors were lining up. But when there's domestic terrorism, where's the warriors? I hear crickets. Talk about being fucking MK Ultra. Yeah, we're fucked.
Well, I've been waiting for a hospital appointment about my shoulder and my arm because I lost the use of my arm. And I got.
Why? What happened? You were saying your health went down. I would think people would be more healthy in your country than here in the U.S.
Well, I don't think obesity is as bad, but you know, it's the same stuff, really. But I've been waiting now, what is it now? Nearly altogether from when I first saw the doctor. It's getting on for a year. And
what did they say they were going to do?
Well, I had the doctor referred me to the hospital to get I think an MRI scan. Yeah. I got a letter through from the hospital about 4 months ago saying that I was on a waiting list to get my first appointment.
Damn.
So I'm not. They didn't even give me an appointment date. I'm actually on a waiting list to get an appointment, and I haven't heard from them since.
That sucks. Yeah, I wonder about this war, man, right? Because they say Iran had control, right? And then all of a sudden the U.S. allegedly had control. But yet the Strait of Hormuz isn't open. So if the U.S. got control and they're charging people, they're no better than Iran. So either A, the U.S. is lying and way more people are getting slaughtered out there because I heard China's backing Iran. And Iran has tech that is just all these military Navy ships are getting slaughtered out there by fucking drones because all the U.S. military shit's outdated. And Iran, I heard, is annihilating the U.S. out there. How true? I don't fucking know. But hey, they shouldn't have picked the fight with Iran. You know, the U.S. always in someone's business, always fucking sucking another country's dick. You know, the U.S., all these foreign people that run our country have buried our country. They let all the good jobs leave this country. So we don't even produce our own goods anymore. That's a big issue. We're not self-sustaining anymore. They've replaced all our farmland with garbage. And, you know, and these are the big problems as a country. I remember in the 90s, we were self-sustaining, man. We had factories. There were jobs everywhere. And from 9/11 on is when the country started to go downhill. It was just like in that book that I was reading, The Committee of 300, how they were destabilizing America by making it unsustainable of its own, you know. We got our own oil. We could have had the best farmland. We could have grown all our own food and crops. We could have had all our own factories, produced all our own stuff, and not worried about China's trash they send us. You know, but these shitty politicians somehow get, you know, well, not somehow. We know how they're getting in there, but they don't have any, you know, I don't understand how people still have faith in these motherfuckers. How many decades have they lied to the people's face and completely stabbed us in our back, and yet people still want to go vote for these fucking losers? It's either, I don't know, man. I don't know what to call it. Is it pure ignorance? I mean, they literally shit on us right in our face. And yet people still have faith in them. Like some guy's going to come save the fucking day. Our country is gone. We don't even, we can't even sustain our by them shutting down that strait has hurt our country so bad because we're not self-sustained no more. Now, if we had these factories and the farmland was still booming, we could be self-sustainable. And who cares if the fucking strait was closed? But unfortunately, that's not the case. 90% of our goods on the shelves are from fucking China or Asia. Which that's bad. You know, I could remember stuff was made in America still on the shelves when I was growing up, a lot. Not anymore. Everything's from outside our country. That's just terrible. It's terrible. Even the cars. There used to be factories here that made cars, are gone. You know, there's a few, but not like it used to be. Like Detroit was the fucking spot. That's gone. Look how they destabilized Detroit. It's become a cesspool. The city I live in was the hardware city of the world. Now it's hardly a city. When I look at old pictures of New Britain, Connecticut, before they put the highway through the center of it, there were so many factories. I didn't realize this. My grandfather really didn't break down the depth of how much we were producing before they knocked all that down and put a stupid highway right through the center of our city. I have this picture from the 1890s of New Britain, Connecticut, and there's so many train tracks and factories. Now I get why we were the hardware city of the world. But yeah, that's all gone. You know, and it sucks to see America just turn into a fucking cesspool. And these data centers are gonna like seal the deal of a cesspool. Well, I guess this is the freedom the soldiers fought for. Yeah. They fought so hard for our freedom, they let domestic terrorists in. That's how hard they were fighting for our freedom. That they let these foreign entities just come in and take over. God, they were fighting hard. I don't ever want to hear no soldiers say, I fought for your freedom ever again. That's laughable.
Well, they thought they were. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the kicker, isn't it? Because...
And I got respect for a lot of the warriors. But you know the oath, foreign or domestic, and I have yet to see these domestic terrorists get taken care of. Palantir is a foreign entity that just set up shop in our country. They're a private company at that is surveying our country. Where did their permission come from to do that? That's very interesting. I didn't know a foreign entity that's a private could just run up in the country and just start fucking setting up shop and surveying. But when Jay Hines said, yeah, there's tons of immigrants. Like, what was that? Oh, Kamala Harris. She's a Canadian. How the fuck does she get to run for vice president if she's a Canadian?
Oh, you've just reminded me of something, Charles. I haven't been on for a while, and I made a mental note to ask you about it. I saw a thing a few weeks ago. It was a coloured woman at the White House. I don't know who it was. If I could find the short, you might be able to tell me. But she's talking about what was she talking about? She was saying about there's something called the alien laws or something in America, which is how they can deal with foreign people. Like in the Second World War, they put all the Japanese people into internment camps, even though they were US citizens. It's that thing. She was talking about this, yeah, but she was reading from a script, and she said the last time these laws were used was in World War XI, because it had World War II, but two's in Roman numerals, isn't it? So she actually said World War XI. Now, I don't know what's more stupid if the fact that this lady's never heard of the Second World War, or the fact she thinks there's been 10 other world wars. You know?
I see what you mean. Yeah, she this is the school system. Oh man, that's hilarious, bro. She said World War 11, yo. No wonder our country's fucked.
She didn't look that old.
These are the people running our country. No wonder.
I know, mate. I know. I wish I could find it because you'd be able to tell me who it was. I mean, she must have been fairly important because she was giving this speech at the White House behind the podium. Just goes to show the disconnect. Oh, I found it, Charles. Do you want to see it? It's only a short. I'll post it.
Yeah.
I'll post it because I haven't got audio if I stream it. Yeah, this is it. I'm glad I found that. There you go.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
I'll take a look at that. It's funny.
I think I'm about to jump off here in a few minutes. I forgot that I was going to jump off at. Anyway, freedom is when we move. Jay Hyten said, freedom is when we move. Wait, freedom is when we move, when we take care of ourselves, when we don't depend, when we can choose, and when we can stand without being censored. Yeah, you know, I think it's wild it came to the point where people are censoring themselves. Isn't that crazy? What's up, Tommy? I just think it's wild that we were well, not we, but people are censoring themselves. To, you know, it got so critical that they didn't need to censor us anymore. People are censoring themselves.
Take a quick look at that short then, Charles, because I'm intrigued to find out if you know who that woman is, isn't it? It's only about 30 seconds long.
You put it in the back?
I put it in the comments. Yeah, I'll post it again.
Put it in the back chat.
I'll private, yeah. Okay.
I asked this guy from Bangladesh about Bill Gates. I said, hey, man, did Mr. Hell's Gate go to your country and do what it said is done? And he said, yeah. That in India, they were fucking people up with that stuff. And I said, man, you guys should have annihilated that dude, yo. I don't even know how he got away with that. And what he did to Africa too. They say it's not true. If you look it up, the fact check will say it ain't true. So if fact check says it ain't true, then I know it is. But yeah, I have to go to the source. So I asked. He's not the only one I've asked too. People, just like we got a lot of people from India here. There's a big influx of Bangladeshians and Africans. Yep. I'm telling you, look at military videos, the U.S. military videos that people post on YouTube. You see so many foreigners in the military. It's unbelievable. That's because nobody wanted to fight the political wars in America anymore. Not nobody, but a good amount. Because there's still dummies that would join the military. And I take that back. That doesn't make him a dummy, but Freddie Starr ate a hamster. That can't be good. Hold on, let's see this video. Yo, that chick is dumb as a doornail. She said
watched it.
The last time the alien, whatever, she said Germans, my ancestors, Japanese, and somebody else were being deported during World War II, but she said World War 11, yo. This is why we're fucked, man, because of people like that. Their intelligence is like -1 million. She don't even know how to read Roman numerals, bro. This is the school system. I bet you a lot of the newer
that's worse than that, mate. She doesn't know how to read Roman numerals. She's never heard of the Second World War.
I bet you they don't even know how to write cursive. The newer children.
Oh,
I heard they took cursive out of schools.
Some people don't even know how to. Some people don't even know how to read write their own name, because I saw shorts on it with teachers going on about it because their parents don't even call them by their actual names. You know, there are people getting degrees at university now who can't write.
That's crazy.
They're using, you know,
because they're too busy reading gay stories in the schools. You know, pushing these gay books on the youth, man. You know, instead of teaching them how to write and read, which is the most important in this slave system, is you got to know how to read and write and at least do basic math. Other than that, everything else is stupid, in my opinion. History, that's a crock of poop. Like when you start looking in Wikipedia at all these so-called, like when I look at these beautiful buildings, the supreme architecture, and then I look at these so-called architects who built these buildings in 1 year with a donkey and a carriage, yo, it's fucking laughable shit, man. Some of these so-called, you know, these supreme architecture, 1 to 2 years they say they built them. But some of the boxes we build today take 5 years, 6 years. And they're building these supreme architectures in 1 to 2 years with a donkey and a cart. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
I've had a lot of arguments with people on Discord about that subject, because it's weird how people will just argue the toss against what you're saying just for the sake of it without even knowing anything but thinking they do. And it's not just the fact that one building couldn't be built that fast. They don't look at the bigger picture, which is like, it's not just one building. Sometimes it was entire cities, but virtually it very quickly. I mean, San Francisco.
I think they could be built that quick, but I think the people who built them had technology. You know what I mean? They had actual advanced tech that we don't have today to build them that quick. I mean, they're using granite and fucking heavy stone. I mean, this stuff isn't light. You couldn't even put one of those slabs of granite in a cart with wooden wheels. It would break. Yeah. And no donkey or horse could pull that shit.
Or boats.
So something ain't right.
I reckon the obelisk that's in Washington D.C. They reckon they floated that there from Egypt on a boat.
Yeah, they said they brought the Statue of Liberty over here on wooden boats. No way, man. That's way too heavy if you look at. But have a good day, Jay Hyten.
Also, the population was lower when they were in the day when they were building these buildings, Charles. Yeah, so you got to take into account, you know, it wasn't just the people building the buildings. You needed people to support them, to grow food for them, to you know, to supplement what they were doing. Plus the fact it's a skilled thing with the, stonework. So there would only have been a certain percentage of people who were actually skilled enough to do it.
Something, all that stuff in Wikipedia don't add up. All these architects and the founders, the civilization that built a lot of that architecture, it wasn't us. I know that. It wasn't our people. Whoever built that stuff had supreme knowledge, man. I mean, them buildings are just amazing, man. Amazing stuff. And the granite they use, like some of these buildings here in Hartford and the Capitol, the Capitol alone, man. I have never been in there, but I know what a building looks like with granite floors and granite staircases and stuff, because I've been in buildings that have it, and there's so many of them in Hartford, like even office buildings city halls have it and stuff. But the Capitol in Hartford, whoever built that castle, everything in there is granite, gold leaf, the top of the top stuff. And then you look at the hill it's built on, so there's an underground, because it's built on a massive hill. And you could just tell that castle goes underground. But yeah, it's built with the top-notch everything. And like I said, no carriage with a horse is going to pull in them granite slabs. The wheels would break, or they would sink into the mud and you wouldn't be able to pull it. So whoever built those had advanced tech, man. They were moving them stones with ease. And I think they were levitating stuff. I think they had frequency technology to levitate and maneuver big stones and stuff. You ever read about the land of Mu and how they had flying dragons and stuff? And they don't mean dragons like the tech they had breathed fire. They were able to move big granite stones over oceans because they had flying crafts of technology. Have a good day, Kismet. Yeah, I'm about to jump off here too in a minute. They understood the ether, yeah. And that's why they took the ether, I think, out of, in America here. Because ether, if people understood ether, they would understand a lot. People got to watch, I forgot the name of his channel, man. This young man has so much knowledge. Spirit Light Body. That brother is a fucking genius, man. He's a brilliant mind, man. Salute to Spirit Light Body. I mean, the stuff he puts together is awesome. He is definitely a master of energy and alchemy. And that's the stuff I'm interested in. But I don't have the means to do what he's doing. I need a teacher, man, to show me some things. And I know when you dabble in that type of art, of that type of energy, and you start creating on that level, the government is not going to be happy with you. Which I don't care. Fuck them. That's why I want to learn it more, because I'm interested in it, and I want to piss them off. Because they think they could just control everything. Maybe other people are scared of them, but I'm not. All they can do is kill me. That's it. And yet again, they can't kill me completely. That's the only thing they got over me. They can't hold nothing over my head. They can't threaten me with killing my mother and none of my family. They can't threaten they'll take my money, because I'm not a millionaire. I don't have a lot of money. They can't hold nothing over my head. And even if they could, I still wouldn't care. Well, if it was my family that they would harm, I would care about that. But if they threaten to take my money, I wouldn't give a fuck. It's only money. fuck. They can't threaten me with my family or nothing. I'm in the best position ever.
I've just thought of something actually. It's a bit off topic. I'm still thinking about these buildings. You know the star forts you see around?
Yeah, those are amazing.
Some of the one in, I lived in Plymouth in England, right, for a long while, and the biggest one in England is actually in Plymouth. It's huge.
Yeah, England got some beautiful stuff.
But they're everywhere, these star forts, and regardless of what they were for, I mean, I've heard people say it's where the 1% types, like you were talking about earlier, they were hanging out there while something dodgy was going on with everybody else. But I've just thought, because they're all built with water sources, these star forts, and I've just thought that's a little bit like data centers, you know, great big buildings.
That's what I was thinking.
That use a lot of water. I had
brought up that I think the pyramids could have been some sort of computer, man. You ever see the bottom of the pyramids? How they have those serpent and staff type build to them? Where there's eight of them. There's 8 blocks with the serpent looks like it's wrapped around them. I think some of these could have been computers. You might be right. These star forts are like cymatics. That's a very good point, because they say they were military forts, Jason, but I don't believe that.
No. I mean, they were maybe repurposed later on, but I mean, like you said earlier, they've all got underground. What you see above ground is nothing with these star forts. There's a lot underground as well.
I was looking at the city Tesla was in. What city is this? Shoot. Hold on. Dang it.
Was it Ukraine somewhere, wasn't it? Maybe.
Budapest. This is Budapest right here. I mean, even Germany looked like Budapest at one point. Germany was so beautiful in the 1800s, man, before they bombed everything to oblivion. Even the U.S., like, you ever see I seen the old world Michigan, and my mind was blown of the old world Michigan.
I mean, South America's got quite a, I can never remember the name of them, the people who lived in the jungle, and they're just discovering some of their cities and stuff now because we've got new tech. But at one point, their capital city was bigger than London back in the day. And nowadays, those people aren't even around anymore. All of their stuff's been taken over by the jungle.
Look at this city. It's called Hafnium. Hafnium? What's the star for it? Hafnium.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but yeah, that's quite a good little map for that. Well, I found some early maps of, I think it was Mitch. Oh man, what city was it? It was in Michigan, anyway. And the very first map of it, when it was literally a little tiny settlement, it's like a little tiny miniature star fort, and they built it out from around that. London's used to be completely surrounded and look like a star fort. The Tower of London is, if you look at it from the top down now, it still looks like a star fort. Same with Plymouth, where I lived. The old maps of that show it was completely walled like a star fort. They could have been the only entrances to underground bits. You see, that's why they're, I think, so fortified, so that your average person can't just get in. Because some of them were small ones with like one large house in the middle of them. Are you getting off now, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay, mate.
I appreciate you coming up.
I have to speak to you, man. I haven't called with you for a while, so.
Yeah, I think you sent me a email. I got to check them out.
Oh, yeah, I did. That was a while back. I can't remember what I sent you. It was a link to something that I found. Okay, then I'll let you go. I'll catch up with you soon, I suppose, yeah?
Yeah, I'll probably go live tomorrow. But peace to everyone in the chat. This is a good
yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks, Charles. I'll catch up with you later, yeah?
All right, have a good evening, Jason.
Yeah, thanks. One love.
I'm just checking the chat real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off. I'll see you guys next time, man. Have a great day, everyone. And next time, hopefully they'll have something positive to talk about. There isn't really too much left in this world that's positive, but I'll figure something out. Have a good, day, evening, night, wherever you guys are. I'm out of here.